All right, so we're going to check out Mayor Frey's latest address to the people of Minneapolis. Here we go.
Mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey. Mayor Frey, what is your response to this breaking news that there are 1,500 active duty U.S. soldiers on standby to deploy to your state?
This act was clearly designed to intimidate the people of Minneapolis. And here's the thing. We're not going to be intimidated. If the goal here is safety, we've got many mechanisms to achieve safety.
Such as what? We haven't seen it yet. We have seen nothing but chaos in Minneapolis.
And the best way to get safety is not to have an influx of even more agents, and in this case, military, in Minneapolis. Right now, we have about 600 police officers, and they've got 3,000
that you ordered to stand down and are not doing shit out there, and that's why they're resigning on you left and right because of your poor leadership. But let's continue.
or so ICE agents and border control, that they are now talking about deploying 1,500 military. This is, well, it's ridiculous, but we will.
It's ridiculous that they have to, because with 600 police officers and 3,000 agents trying to do their job in your town, there's still chaos. There's still people getting beat up, stabbed, destruction of property, people stealing shit, graffiti, breaking into cars, busting windows, you name it. Still going on day and night.
Will not be intimidated by the actions of this federal government.
Earlier this week, the Minneapolis Star-Tribune editorial board wrote that.
And he keeps saying, we will not be intimidated. That's exactly the lingo of the protesters. And that's why you cannot gain control of them whatsoever in your town, because you're literally acting like one.
Your state is, quote, under siege, and compared the situation in Minneapolis to a, quote, military occupation. Is that how you see it? Is Minneapolis being occupied by the federal government?
You, just you, building your app on Base 44. Describe it.
Invaded, under siege, occupied, use whatever word or superlative that you want to attach, but the bottom line is what is taking place is designed to intimidate. It is not fair, it's not just, and it's completely unconstitutional. But one of the beautiful things that's taking place is that the people here in Minneapolis are not just resisting. They're standing up. They're standing up for their neighbors. They're loving people. They're making sure that they got a ride to the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
A safe walk to their car. They're making sure that...
I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any of that. Walking people, escorting them around and driving them to the grocery store and loving each other. No, that's not what's going on here. You've obviously been misinformed of what's going on in your city. Maybe you ought to take a walk down the street yourself and see what's actually happening on the streets. And stay out of the way of the weapons, and stay out of the way of the tear gas, by the way. And maybe you might want to even stay out of the way of the protesters, because they know you're fake. But you're leading them for now.
They have those basic necessities that they need, because we got a whole lot of people that are afraid to go outside.
They don't seem very afraid to go outside to me. In -6 degrees, day or night. They don't seem very afraid at all. They're out there screaming and shouting and making themselves known and seen, when they could very well just be in their residence. So that seems to be untrue. Just pick out a live stream, any one right now. Just choose one. Doesn't even matter.
At the risk of getting torn apart from their own families. And so in the face of a whole lot of adversity, I'm so proud to be from Minneapolis. I'm so proud to be the mayor of this awesome city with these.
you're an embarrassment, and it would be embarrassing to be proud of what Minneapolis is doing right now, or be proud to be a resident there, or be proud to live there at all. It's an embarrassment to the country, and you're currently being investigated. So keep smiling.
Extraordinary people. They're peacefully protesting. They're
Calling bullshit on that, as we all have seen.
standing up for one another.
They are standing up for one another.
And, you know, like I said, it's not just going to be resistance here in this city. We're not backing down. We're not going to be intimidated.
We're not backing down. We're not going to be intimidated. Buddy, you ain't out there on the street. So quit trying to speak for the people that are out there on the streets. Why don't you get out there in the streets and protest yourself? Protest your government out on the streets. You got a pretty big voice as a part of the government in Minneapolis. Why don't you get out there? Bundle up. They'll give you hand warmers.
You mentioned both resistance and peaceful protesting in what you just said. Where is that line between impeding what the officers are doing and obviously creating a physical conflict and peaceful resistance? Like what?
Now, look, he just asked him a very, very specific question. Where is that line? Where's that fine line? Because you just mentioned peaceful protest, but resisting and not being intimidated. You just were asked a perfectly clear and concise question. Watch how he just dodges this completely. Because, and look how long it takes for him to even come up with a bullshit answer. That's not even a real answer.
What do you tell your citizens to do so that they are resisting in your view, but also not obstructing law enforcement from their duties?
Right. We have tens of thousands of people throughout the city that are peacefully protesting. Of course, they're marching. Of course, they're expressing their First Amendment rights. Yes, they are able to record what is taking place. I mean, that's part of their right as citizens of the United States. And no, ICE agents can't stop, nor can they hide from a recording that is taking place. And at the same time, the message is very clear that we are not going to take the bait. We will not counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos here. And we're not going to give them an excuse to do the thing that clearly they're trying to set up to do right now, which is these 1,500 troops.
It's already going to happen, buddy.
The fact that we're saying this out loud, Jake, is bizarre. You know, I never thought in a million years that we would be invaded by our own federal government. Of course, there's different perspectives when a different party gets sworn into the White House. Of course, there are different ideologies throughout America.
The red line?
That's part of what makes our country great. But you don't get investigated for having a different opinion. You don't have militarized troops deployed to a city for having a different perspective or because a city happened to vote for the opposite party.
They're not coming because of a different perspective. They're coming because of the ideology that you're backing up of a rebellion against your local government. I don't give a fuck what people say, oh, it's just a rebellion against ICE. No, people are out there talking about everything, talking about inflation, talking about housing, talking about the cops. They were talking shit to the cops. Sheriff's Department, all of them. I saw it. So, they even talk shit about you, Mayor Jacob Frey. You are expendable to just about everybody there. But they definitely feel empowered by the words that you're using for right now. But wait till you say something wrong. Wait till you slip up and say something that doesn't really coincide with the narrative. You'll find out how quickly they don't have respect for you.
That may be what happens in other countries. But it doesn't happen here.
Look at this smirk.
Here, this is America, and we've got to be standing up for these American values.
So you just alluded to the fact that the Justice Department said it's investigating you and Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota over alleged obstruction of federal law enforcement. Have you received any sort of official notice or subpoena? Are you even aware of what the specific allegations against you might be?
No, we have not received anything. I'm not aware of specific allegations, but if it were true, the targeting would be the product of performing one of the most basic responsibilities and obligations that I have as mayor, which is to speak on behalf of our great city, speak on behalf of our constituents, and that the federal government would be going after me because of that speech should be deeply concerning, not just for people in Minneapolis, but for anybody throughout the country. And of course, we've seen this before, whether it's me or Governor Walz or Senator Slott.
You're dealing with criminals, straight up. And it's like if you go to work in the prison system or any correctional system and you try to be the cool guy, the cool guys always end up getting fired, and sometimes worse.
Botkin or Senator Kelly, this is happening on the regular, and it's happening because people speak up. But First Amendment speech is not something that we negotiate away in this country. First Amendment speech is something that we stand up for, whether you agree with it or not, whether you find it abhorrent or not.
Look,
it's one of the most basic and foundational rights that we have. And thankfully, in Minneapolis,
you're not answering
we stand up and value First Amendment
stand up for
speech.
First
That's just
Amendment.
kind of baked into who we are.
Governor Walz has mobilized the Minnesota National Guard. He has not yet deployed them. I want to play something that you said earlier this week.
We have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street. We cannot be at a place right now in America
he clearly doesn't agree with anything
where we have two governmental entities that are literally fighting one another.
Literally fighting one another is pretty stark. Are you worried that that's where this is actually heading, with the National Guard and local police on one side in Minneapolis and active duty troops and ICE agents and other federal law enforcement on the other, actually literally fighting, physically fighting?
As I said then, and I'll say now, we can't have that in America.
Then why bring it up,
and
stupid?
So what we are hopeful for here is the judicial system to do its part, to see that necessary check and balance, to recognize that we can't have cities occupied in the United States that simply have a different view from the White House. Now it's Minneapolis, but importantly, and I want to talk to everybody throughout America, I know you love your family, your neighborhood. I know that you love your town, regardless of where you are. And just imagine what it would feel like if you suddenly had an administration, a deployment of troops, of agents come into your city by the thousands, vastly outnumber your police department, and cause chaos on your streets.
They're just there to cause chaos.
If the goal here is to create...
How about they're there to carry out their federal operations? That's why they're getting paid. They're not paid actors to cause chaos. Your city is causing chaos by impeding their operations because you are leading them in that direction along with your governor. Let's set the record straight here. They're carrying out operations, but they're getting sidetracked with all the bullshit that you are leading your people on. You'll be forced eventually to say something against your fellow Minnesotans. It'll happen, trust me. Or you won't have a job.
Peace and safety and calm. There's a very clear antidote here, which is leave. The second these ICE agents leave the city, I'm telling you, you're going to have calm in Minneapolis, and you will continue to see the great comeback that we had been experiencing. Let us get back to that comeback. Let us live in peace.
Good luck.
Let us have businesses that are open and daycares where you don't need to escort staff
Like the
to and
Leering
from.
Center.
Let us live in a place where, I mean, look, in Minneapolis, we'll stand up. If we have to sled down ice hills to get to a protest, we'll do that.
Bro, you will not sled down no hill to get to a protest. Shut the fuck up. That was the dumbest thing he's like literally just encouraging and inciting. He's not going to be there. All you protesters out there that are listening to him, just know that you will not see this guy in the protest. He will not show up, even if the weather turns 60 degrees outside. He's not going to show up. He's literally setting y'all up to be arrested at some point. But keep listening to this jackass.
We've got to make sure that people are escorted to the grocery store. We'll
Nobody's
do that.
doing that.
But truthfully, we want to get back to a place where we can just love on our city, do our daily activities, just like any other town in America.
So the position of the administration, first of all, a week ago, as you know, ICE released a list of 19 undocumented immigrants that they said they picked up in Minnesota. They've been convicted of crimes ranging from sexual assault and child abuse to murder. The White House border czar, Tom Homan, said they need to pick up those dangerous individuals. And he said specifically that you can fix this issue today. Take a listen to what Tom Homan had to say.
We're arresting illegal aliens when we're out there looking for criminals. You want less collateral arrest? Then let us in the damn jail. Frey and Walz could fix us today. Let us into jail so you can arrest a public safety threat and the safety and security of a jail rather than forcing us into the street to find these bad guys.
What's your response to that, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to take the most easy position I think I've ever taken. Hey, in Minneapolis, we're anti-murder. Second most easy position, we're anti-rape. Third most easy position, we're anti-crime. You can't do those things in Minneapolis, and if you do, we investigate them. We prosecute, you charge, you arrest, and you put the people in jail. And by the way, we have partnered extensively with the federal government to get the perpetrators of violent crime off our streets. And we've seen great success in doing that. In fact, on the north side, one example, we worked with the ATF and the FBI and the DEA and a number of different entities to successfully drive down shootings to record lows. So do we partner to get the bad guys? Of course we do. Here's what we don't partner on. We don't partner to just yank random people off the street because they happen to look Latino or they happen to look Somali.
Because we're looking
we don't partner
for
to do
illegal
like
immigrants,
constant checks of passports, requiring people to bring their passport or all this identification around with them all the time. I mean, that's not America. Not to mention, I want our police officers not hunting down a father who has done nothing wrong. I want our police officers working to stop violent crime and prevent carjackings and do all this, the basic stuff that you need to do in a city. And so, no, I don't think Homan understands the basic dynamic as to how stuff works in Minnesota here. But the bottom line is, as we know, this is not about safety. It's not about crime. This is about intimidation. And in Minneapolis, we're not going to be intimidated.
That answer made no sense whatsoever. No sense. Except the fact that Mr. Homan has no idea how things operate in Minneapolis. I don't think any of us really understand how things operate in Minneapolis, but they're not going very well. And that's why there will be troops sent into your city, because you don't know how to do shit. You said your number one priority is the safety and security of the city, of the people. And yet you tell your police to stand down. That's why they're leaving your ass. See y'all on the next one.